All right, so here's the lifecycle report itself. Where you can access this, obviously, you only need to click on reports, and it's the first report that you see from here. Okay, this report right now is again available to all plans as it's currently in beta phase. So let us know if you have any feedback on this report, as if you like to see anything extra and whatnot. So once you start using Lifecycle and start updating contact lifecycles accordingly, every single movement on every single contact's lifecycle gets tracked within this lifecycle report itself. That means that you see exactly how leads are moving or not moving through your lifecycle funnel. You know where you're converting and where you're losing leads. No more guesswork, just clear, actionable insights. Before we dive in, let's understand how this report works first. At the top here, you see a date filter. Now, this filter is a little bit special because this filter looks at the date a contact was first assigned a lifecycle stage, not when they were added to your workspace. For example, if you have a contact and that contact was first assigned a stage new lead, okay? Let's say that contact was first assigned on March 1st, and your filter itself right now, it includes that date. Then they will appear in this report because this data or this date itself filters the date contacts first enter the funnel. Only entries that begin within this selected or deselected range are shown. If the contact new lead was never assigned or any lifecycle stages was never assigned to a contact, then they will not appear in this report. Now, this makes it easy for you to look at contacts from, for example, specific campaigns. So let's say you have a January campaign or a Christmas campaign, right? It's like tracking conversions that you get or that results in a conversion from those dates itself. Right, so this means that if a contact, again, was never assigned a lifecycle stage, they will not appear in this report at all. This is so that you have full control of or on which contact to track and which to not track. All right, so here's what the report looked like, right? Let's talk about from top to bottom. So on the top here, you'll see 4 key metrics that we believe matter most to your businesses. First is the overall conversion rate. This conversion rate basically shows the percentage of contacts that successfully move to the won stage, right? In this case, my won stage is payment 1, because obviously once they make a payment, then I've won the customer, right? So again, it's the percentage of contacts that successfully move to the won stage, and it helps you understand how effective your lead conversion is or how much your business is winning. Right. On the second metric here is the average time conversion. This tells you how long it takes on average for a contact to reach the won stage from the time when they were first assigned a life cycle. Of course, the shorter it is, the faster your closing leads. The second last one is the overall drop-off rate. Now, this shows the percentage of contacts that never made into the conversion stage and end up in a loss stage. It's a quick way to see how many leads you're losing in this case. And finally is the average drop-off time, right? Average time to drop off. This is the average time it took for a contact to enter a loss stage. It helps you understand if you're spending too much time talking to a customer only for them to drop off and not buy from you. So these 4 numbers will give you a good snapshot of how well your business is performing, where you're winning, and where there's room to improve. Okay, on the second graph itself is the beautiful lifecycle journey funnel. This gives you a visual breakdown of how your contacts move from one stage to the next, like a step-by-step site map of or step map of your funnel. You also see the conversion rate between stages. For example, my conversion rate from hot lead to invoice issued is 50%. This means that 50% of the other contacts that were not assigned into invoice issued either stays within this funnel or drop off. To answer that question, I would need to go through the second last and also the last table. But let me talk about the first chart here first, and then I'll tell you about how to integrate where the 50% of these contacts end up in. So this chart itself helps you exactly figure out which part of your funnel needs a boost. And in this case, you can see this 50% conversion is not very good. And me as a business, if I see this, is definitely something that I can look into by looking at other charts also. But it's definitely something that I can improve in this case, especially for my business. Right, so the third chart here is what we call a loss stages breakdown. It shows you the number of contacts that move to each loss stages. So these numbers reflect contacts of contacts who were dropped off after entering your lifecycle stage. It helps you see exactly why you're losing potential customers during the conversion journey. It's a powerful way to spot patterns and tackle common reasons for drop-offs head on, so you can resolve them or these issues about your sales processes at once. That is why setting up loss stages in settings is super important so that the data works for you. In this case, if you remember seeing my lifecycle configuration just now, I had 2 loss stages, which is no budget and also cold lead. Here is telling me that the contacts that entered the lifecycle funnel within this state go into a loss stage, and the number is 7 and 5. So it tells me exactly why I'm losing customers from this particular date. Okay, and the fourth table here gives you a deep dive into every single stages in your business lifecycle journeys. In this case, for each stage, you can see new lead, hot lead, invoice issued, and also payment in progress. In each stage, I will see the conversion rate to other stages, which basically tells you the percentage of contacts moving to other lifecycle stages, excluding loss stage. The average time in the stage, which basically tells you how long does it take for a contact to move to another stage from new lead and specific stages, for example. And drop-off rate, which tells you the percentage of contacts moving to any loss stages from these lifecycle stages itself. And we also have a column or a few columns for your loss stages configuration. So it tells you how many contacts from these stages end up in a loss stage in this case. So reading this table is also pretty simple. If I see a high conversion rate to another stage from new lead, this is a good sign, right? Which means that customers don't become stagnant. They don't get stuck within this stage often. And here you see a low drop-off rate. Now, this low drop-off rate tells me that contacts from here usually will always move on to another stage that is not lost, right? But for example, if you see payment in progress, my conversion rate to another stage is a little bit lower, but my drop-off rate is the highest among all lifecycle stages. This tells me that the drop-off rate from this particular stage is the highest, which kind of makes sense because payment is always a very sensitive topic, right? And from here, you might lose customers the most because, well, nobody likes to pay or nobody likes to use money. So this table itself tells you very well how you're using or how you're talking to customers from each particular stage. Average time here, for example, I'm spending way too much time on new lead. I'm talking to them for 4 days just to move them across. So each of the life cycle stages, you can see exactly what the problem is. And for here, new lead, I'm spending too much time, but my conversion rate is the highest to other stages. So I only need to work on telling my agents to talk to them faster, or maybe change a bit of the language that we speak to customers in this case, because on other stages, it only takes 2 hours to convert them. In this case, 15 hours. And in this case, 6 seconds. Obviously, this is all test data in this case, but this is really fast, right? So yeah, so with these insights that you see throughout, and hopefully you will know how to interpret it. Either ways, if you have any questions, just let me know. It really tells you how your business is performing. Because with these insights, you're not just tracking leads, you're also understanding them. You're understanding how you talk to leads as well, especially within Respond.io being a conversational platform. You know exactly how they're moving or not moving and why they're dropping off. Whether you're trying to improve your conversion rate or even speed up your funnel, this report gives you that clarity and control to take actions with confidence. So don't just look at the numbers, use them to sharpen your strategy and drive better results.
Yep, exactly. And it's super important that you clearly define your life cycle stages and loss stages, because that is the base of how you interpret your data. If your stages are not clear, you don't put enough loss stages to really understand why your customers are dropping off, you wouldn't have the right data to really interpret, okay, what's going on with your business. And another important thing is having your agents actually move customers to the next life cycle stage. If they don't move, they don't pay attention, they don't ask the right questions to really determine should they move the lead to the next stage, or is this the reason why a lead dropped off, no budget, too far away, no interest, no urgency, you wouldn't know. So it's very important to train your team to be able to move these life cycles, understand what each stage means and what questions they need to ask, and of course, clearly define your stages. If not, the data you have is not perfect. So every business is different. You understand your business the best. So if you do have any questions, we are also available to be consulted as well. You can just reach out to our support via WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, exactly. So now that you know how Lifecycle works and how to use Lifecycle Report, just want to tell you one thing. Lifecycle isn't just about tracking. It also works very well with other features within Respond.io. So in this case, with Lifecycle, you can automate follow-ups, you can send targeted messages, especially in workflows, and manage your work or manage your inbox more efficiently. But it doesn't just stop there. One of the most powerful integrations, Meta Conversion API. If you're running ads on Meta, this workflow event, the Send Conversions API, this workflow event helps Meta algorithm understand which of your leads are actually converting. So Meta can go find more of those leads like them. It's like automating your social media advertising strategy. Now, here's how it works. You can set up a workflow trigger. Hold on, let me just share my screen. Right. So we have a workflow template for this. But here's how it works, right? You can set up a workflow trigger that sends a conversion API event to Meta whenever a contact moves to a won stage. So remember when you saw the configuration that we have just now, we have a won stage, and that's where you can set up your trigger to send a conversion event to Meta. This event itself tells Meta this: hey, this is the type of lead that often becomes a customer or a paying customer. Go and help me find more like this. With this setup, you're not just tracking your leads, you're also optimizing your entire social media marketing funnel from ad, click to close deal.
Yep, exactly. Wait, Wilson, maybe you want to show them how to find the web template as well on the platform?
Oh, yeah. All right. So let me just share back my screen.
Yeah. So this feature is super great for marketers, especially because we all know that Meta sometimes sends us the spam or not quality leads. And this is a feature that allows us to tell Meta that, hey, I want more of these people, bring me more of these people. And it's super important that you set this up so that as early as possible, so that Meta can find more people for you that you want and not the people that you don't want. So yeah, and other things that you can do with this. Anything else for Lifecycle? Oh, technically Lifecycle, you can also create lists, right? Segments that you can also upload to Meta after exporting, and you can retarget people. For example, you have a lot of people, let's say you're in e-commerce and they add to cart, for example, you want to retarget those add to carts, or maybe you want to retarget people who fill up the form to go to your showroom. but they didn't attend. Maybe you want to retarget them via ads. You can export that list, upload to Meta, and retarget them as well. So Lifecycle allows you to identify where your leads or your contacts are at different stages, and you can use that data in different ways that you want to retarget them, to know that, okay, these people are, for example, trash. We don't want to talk to them ever again. You know, so that other team members will not interact with these people ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
helps you manage leads very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a quick one on how to access that template itself. So, you only have to go to workflows, available for growth and advanced, and then add workflow from there. Then you access the workflow templates, and it's the first one here: send copy for converted leads. You can use this template, but just a note is that for this trigger, remember to change it to your one stage and make sure you set up your Meta business account appropriately, and you can always send conversion API from there.
Yeah, actually, let me just share the link to the other webinar we had all about Conversion API, which actually sets up all this. Hold on, let me just share the link in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not just for Meta ads as well. You want to have TikTok ads that send to your WhatsApp Messenger. That's also doable as well. We have another TikTok lower funnel event, which is exactly like the same thing, but on TikTok. So you can optimize both your Meta ads and your TikTok ads as well using Lifecycle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all. Thanks for joining. I hope this gives you a clear view of how Lifecycle can set up your lead management and reporting. Now I hand it over to Tyler.
Yes, and now it's the Q&A session. And yeah, let me just share quickly what questions we have. Okay, let's see. The first question is from Hossam. Can we set the one stage to an open stage that is not the final stage? For example, I have 10 stages, but I want the 8th stage to be the one stage.
The reason why we put it as the last stage and it must be a one stage is because we need to make it work for reports itself. And for reports itself, there's always a destination, a first stage and the end stage, which is the destination. So if we want to make it into the middle part on any of the stages, it's a little bit difficult for us to track it for you because we really automate a lot of things at the backend side to actually help track all these data for you guys. But I want to hear a little bit more information on why you need it as an open stage in the middle. And for this one, if you could, Tyler, if we can re-talk to them on why they want to do this, is this okay? Or can we just send over a Kenny request on this one?
Actually, depending on what you want to find out from Hossam, we actually can email him if you want to find out more as well.
Yeah. So I think that would be great. Yeah.
We'll reach out to you via email directly to really understand your use case, because we're not quite sure. We need a bit more context of how you want to use this. Maybe we're only guessing, maybe the 9th and 10th stage is post-sale servicing. I don't know. So right now we can't really answer without knowing the full context.
Yeah, but I totally understand where you're coming from, Hossam, because it's not the first time I've heard this feedback. And as Respond.io, of course, we want to hear you guys as much as possible. We've been designing the whole platform by listening to our customers as much as possible. So I definitely want to get more information from you. If that's okay, we'll definitely email you sometime after this webinar. If that's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Next question from Vinaya. When a contact is created in the Lifecycle, can we automate the work the lead has come from?
Automate the work the lead has come from. I'm not sure what question is about. It's created in the Lifecycle. Can we, unless if it's okay, Vinaya, for you to
let
me know what this means.
A bit more context. What do you mean by work the lead has come from?
If that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can automate. Yeah, I mean, and maybe the work is workflow. I'm not sure. But let's say you want to know where they're coming from. If they're coming from CTC ads, if they're coming from as long as they are coming from Meta or or TikTok ads, these two are the advertisements that we have integrated within Respond.io. So if you want to find out where they're coming from and automate some kind of message follow-up or whatever, especially with workflows, that is definitely possible right now. But it's in workflow that you can set up to see where they're coming from, update life cycles, and see what life cycle they are in. Then maybe send a message or do something from there. So yeah, that kind of automation definitely is possible if you're asking about that.
And if this doesn't answer your question, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support as well. They can answer your questions. Maybe share some screenshots or what do you mean, or recording if you have something more complex to ask. I'm sending the link to our contact support. You can reach out to them on WhatsApp for the fastest response. Okay, next, Joven. How come I couldn't save after I set the stage?
So there's a few requirements for the stages. First of all is that the names shouldn't be the same with other stages. And there shouldn't be a duplicate stage. Actually, I think that's about it. So if you couldn't save your stage, it could be because the names are the same, or it could be a bug.
Yeah.
So do talk to our support as well. We're always here, reply really, really fast. And yeah, let's see if there's any actually any. Yeah. I do apologize for this. We're always, as a tech company, there's always bugs here and there. But do let us know. We will get it fixed quickly for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Ferras. This is a great update, guys. I also suggest adding another section for other stages. We are currently using some stages to categories, customer tech issue collection.
I think, Ferras, you're talking about sub stages, right? Like a category of other stages or something like that. Like you could have the same life cycle stage, but different customers. Am I correct? So if that's the case, we have heard of these kind of feedbacks before. So let us see how viable this is, and we'll come back to you on this one. But definitely, if you have any suggestion also on other feature requests or your use cases that you might want us to help you solve, we also have a portal for you to submit all these. We call it feature requests, and that's on respond.kenny.io.
All right. Yeah. Maybe, Wilson, you can reach out to Ferras as well, specifically to get the use case to really understand this.
Right. Let me also remind myself.
No worries. I'll show you the emails later for these.
Cool.
Okay. And next question, Sairam. Can we connect with Google Ads? Well, unfortunately, no. Google Ads does not have a feature that connects WhatsApp or any chat services, unfortunately, unlike a Meta and TikTok, which has very specific type of ads that connect to WhatsApp and Messenger. So unfortunately, there's no way to really determine the source of things to optimize Google Ads by sending just like Meta and TikTok. While you can still track, but it's not perfect. Google Ads will have its own hacky way of tracking, but it's not the same as Meta and TikTok ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next. Hi, Tariro.
Right. So how do I access reports on lifecycle stages? You can directly go to. Can I share my screen for a bit? That's okay.
Yeah, and just
reports. Yeah. So for Tariro, your question, right? Very easy, but you need to be an owner or manager of our platform itself. You only need to click on reports. Then it's the first report here that is accessible to all plans. Okay, it's accessible to all plans within Respond.io. So you can find it inside reports module.
Yep, just contact your admin or owner of the tool to activate it. Then they should be able to access it, right? For agent level. Yeah.
Oh, they shouldn't. No.
Oh, they should. Only owners, right?
Yeah, owners and managers.
Then ask your owner or manager to make you a manager as well.
Yeah.
All right. Hossam gave some more context. Let's say my stages are new lead, qualified, PO received, payment received, container loaded. Oh, so it's like post-sales updates, for example.
Right. So for this one, we actually tell our customers to at least try, to ignore the sequencing. I understand that sequencing might be important, but in this case, the last stage might need to be, because it has a lot of backend handling in terms of reports as well. The last stage might need to be payment received, right? What I mentioned by you might need to ignore the sequencing, it means that you need to put the post-payment stages to the front, right? So you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, and so forth, that eventually leads up to payment made. But that payment made needs to be the end, and then whatever's at the back of payment made, you need to put it in front, because this way you can still track it in lifecycle reports, and there's a lot of benefit that comes with the report itself, right? And so in order to make that work, we need to see the last one as payment made in this case. So like I mentioned, again, just the sequencing part that you might need to ignore in this case. We also have, I think this is a very, very valid feedback, by the way, and we definitely want to track this a little bit further. So do post it on roadmap.respond.io, the one that George shared. I can also, talk to you further from there, and also comment from there as well, because we definitely want to track all these great suggestions, by the way. So yeah.
This is actually a really good feedback. As a business owner, you want to keep track of all these stages, and currently we're working on it. Let's see what we can do together to make this work for all the businesses' needs.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one last question from Alexander. How to integrate Respond.io plus WhatsApp plus Copper CRM?
Copper CRM. Oh yeah, you're finding out what Copper CRM is?
Yeah, let me check and see. Well, obviously it's a CRM tool. Copper CRM. Yeah, it's a CRM tool, so primarily for Google Spaces.
So I guess I can answer a few things first on this one. For Respond.io with WhatsApp is, we do have integrations with that, obviously, because WhatsApp is definitely we're even the WhatsApp business partners. So definitely that integration shouldn't be a problem. But Copper CRM, that one, without doing further research, definitely I can't really answer much. However, if they have APIs that you can use, definitely you can integrate the webhooks and also the webhooks from our side into their CRM as well, especially if they have workflows, right? So again, if you have any API integration or they allow any API integration, definitely you can do that, especially from our our workflow side.
Yep.
However,
just
right
check
now,
they do have an API, so yeah, it's just a matter of, I think you will have to use a third-party integration tool like Zapier, Make.com to really connect all this to Respond.io and WhatsApp.
Yes. And then there's however, we do have native integrations now with HubSpot and Salesforce. But I understand, if you guys use a different CRM tool, as long as they have APIs that you can integrate with Zapier or Make.com, definitely that is possible.
Yep. So if you need any assistance, just reach out to our support team to guide you through the step-by-step or walk through how things will work exactly. Yeah, please don't hesitate. When it comes to integration, you can also get on a video call with them as well. Request a video call to go through it together.
I like, Alexander, I like that you mentioned I can code middleware. So that's a good thing, because you can refer to our webhooks for new incoming messages and also outgoing messages. Actually, we have 2 of them. So if there's a way for you to match the IDs from either side, then you can post or even get the messages from Respond.io, because if you integrate Respond.io with WhatsApp, for example, then we will always package those messages from WhatsApp into specific webhooks that you can use on Copper side. So yeah, hopefully that answers it.
All right. Saram has a question about Zoho. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a native integration for Zoho either. So same thing as Copper CRM, it requires some API work here. So don't hesitate to reach out to our support to really guide you through this.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all the questions so far. Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys learned a lot and see the benefit of Lifecycle. And if you think other friends who are also running businesses can benefit from Respond.io and Lifecycle, don't hesitate to refer. You can also earn 100 USD in the process once they become a customer as well. So yeah, free money for everyone. So yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let me just share the link here also to the referral as well if you want to get access to that. Okay. All right. Oh, another question from Sairam before we end. Okay. I've shared the referral link in the chat as well if you guys want access to that. Can we have a drip marketing setup based on life cycle stages? Yeah. Right.
Can't remember what is drip marketing already. I forgot.
Basically, it triggers based on specific criteria.
Okay, yes, definitely. You can have workflows for this.
Yeah.
So workflows, by the way, workflows on this one. Of course, it depends if it's on WhatsApp and whatnot. On workflows, you can definitely send a message or even send templates. So let's say you have a few life cycle stages, stage 1, 2, 3, so forth, so on and so forth. Doesn't matter what it is, but let's say on stage 1 you want to send a different marketing template or even message. Stage 2 you want to send a marketing template or even message, so on and so forth. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah. Again, if you have any questions about how to set this up, and reach out to our support team and share what's your exact use case and see how they can help.